Giga fam, season 5 reloaded is here. The kilo got a giga buff. If you've been around my channel for a while, you know I already loved the kilo. Covered it recently. That thing was nasty. Don't really think it needed a buff, but with it, I think it is pretty much the undisputed long range meta at this point. Rips close range, rips mid range. Yes, there is slight fall off over range, especially at ultra long ranges, but they extended the damage range by so much. So, you know, you're really able to reach out and touch people at long distance and rip them. It's only going to be at like 100 meters plus. We're going to notice that range fall off. And at that point, I would argue that recoil is king. The guns with faster TTKs, you're not going to be able to hit as many shots. The kilo is disgusting. If you want the data analysis, check out my season 5 reloaded primer video from yesterday. But I wanted to mention, most people that I see putting out builds, like the big meta content creators, they're encouraging people to run monolithic with a reinforced barrel, which that build is okay, but I would like to make the argument that dropping monolithic or compensator and reinforced for gain twist is a much better build. I have a full explanation of that in the gameplay, as well as some absolute beams to show off what this thing is capable of. Here's a gunfighter version, which is just, I'm a big fan of gunfighter. You can easily make do with like a legendary ground loot SMG, someone you kills SMG, or even the Grekova until you're able to hit another loadout for your SMG. Another option would be to go overkill and then upgrade to a gunfighter kilo if you get the chance. It does make a huge difference with the extra handling and recoil springs. Before you argue with me about putting monolithic and reinforced on this bad boy, please at least watch the video, and then if you have any further debate or discussion you want to have about it, just drop it down in the comments. I love brain sharing this stuff. If you have a good time or if you learn anything, please like the video and subscribe with notifications on. Helps me so much while I grind. I'm very passionate, dropping daily quality content for you all, and I want you guys to pay close attention to this gameplay. Enjoy. That's kind of a crazy shot. That Essex. I need to level it up and get a gameplay for it. All right, get our baby. I kind of want to take this into the tower. That's where you really can get some long range reps with it and just kind of see how these new range fall offs are. It's interesting to me how many people love to run monolithic suppressor, and I see it as more of a situational attachment. I prefer the kilo without it. Obviously, I mean, it has good recoil with it, but it has staggeringly incredible recoil with the compensator. I just don't think a lot of those players that give me grief about not running monolithic can beam like I beam. I'm saying you can't run it. You definitely can. And I mean, staying off the minimap is another bonus, but it adds aim bob. Compensator is a drastic recoil reduction. And on top of all that, it hurts ADS times. And compensator doesn't, so there's a lot to be said for sticking with the compensator. They made that animation look so goofy when people are prone like that. I always think they're like downed. Plus, I mean, after all these damage range buffs, the kilo has really good damage ranges already. I mean, this is outside of its effective damage ranges, and I mean, I'm still getting these kills just because I'm hitting every bullet. I mean, yeah, this is exactly what I'm talking about. Now, some people may still be able to do that with like monolithic reinforced barrel or, you know, combo, something like that, but I don't think most people are. And on the flip side, I do think most people could with this setup that I prefer. Honestly, the most annoying part of the monolithic for me personally is the aim bob. I can't stand it. Like when you're ADS'd and you're strafing, this is perfectly stable. With a monolithic, it would be like bobbing up and down. And you know, regardless of the input you use, you should be strafing in your gunfights. Both inputs should be strafing so that they can you know, make the enemy miss shots, and controller especially should be strafing because it helps activate rotational aim assist. And whether you realize it or not, that aim bob will make you miss shots with a monolithic suppressor. Just food for thought. You can still run it if you want to. Definitely think you go reinforced barrel though, especially on small map if you end up going mono. It's because you'll start to get into like unnecessary levels of bullet velocity. Would have liked to have hit the fire cell, but there's a lot of people left in this lobby. C9 is still incredible, by the way. The nerf was negligible. It's just some of the other stuff is getting buffed, so the gap between C9 and other subs is getting smaller and smaller every patch. I would say on paper the Lodra is meta at this point. Have we missed a bullet with this kilo? And now it has the, you know, the ranges to really kind of back up this incredible recoil. There's some shots there. Oh wow, it ended up being a whole team under me. I don't know how many more times we're gonna be able to hit the buy, so I'm gonna go ahead and get a muni. If for some reason you get bored watching this more kind of stagnant, camp type playstyle, check out my channel. I got plenty of aggressive gameplays. But you know, sometimes if I'm doing a long range gun, I enjoy hitting up the tower slash HQ. just to really put it through its paces at like kind of ultra long ranges. And I think we've definitely demonstrated that the kilo is filthy. All right, let's tee up and get this dub. He took height too early. I talk about that all the time. When I play corner living a lot, but you kind of have to wait until top Nova and where I am, this HQ head glitch, are sealed off by storm before you start taking the roof. And you also got to be wary of big green to a lesser extent. You do have like head glitches you can play on those roofs. Go ahead and start heading over, playing for info, figuring out which buildings they're in. Refresh a little bit. We'll go ahead and play this roof because they're in the building next over. The roofs first before we start getting other picks. We get lucky there. He gets damaged from the buy. We can get those holds. Good holds now. Hey, I've crossed already. Play it smart. 4 bad guys left. We're across 2 enemy teams. In game, I'm always thinking about, you know, who are my biggest threats? You know, which team has the most players left? And can we start getting picks on them? Obviously, I don't have like enough info here. That was like a huge down. Kilo was already one of my favorite guns, and it's really been elevated. Hopefully thermal. I want to seal them off. Yep. And that's checkmate. GG.